Hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Thursday and let's get right into the charts as Bitcoin is right now struggling to hold, as you can see, this low right here. So basically we've yet to touch that low. We've got like a couple of $100 until we go there, basically 0.8% still. But if Bitcoin does not manage to hold this low, as I have mentioned in yesterday video, since the stock market is still pushing down, as you can see on the daily time frame, the stock market has had a not a small correction. Basically we're having a correction like this one right now. Currently on the S&P 500 we are almost 2.1% down, and on the Nasdaq I think we've dipped down almost 4.1% basically, as you can see. So this is why Bitcoin is also struggling right now, but also we are at a very crucial support, and if this support does not hold, basically the next target for Bitcoin in my opinion would take us down to potentially this low at 105k, which has not been swept out yet, or potentially we go all the way back to this low and this high right here, which is sitting at $98,000. Also, if you look at the liquidation heat map here, there is a gap between basically 102 and 99 to 98k of liquidity. So basically the liquidity, there's a pocket of liquidity sitting between 112 and 104, basically to 105k, which is also why I am expecting this potential low right here if we mark it out just like this. So basically these are the three key levels which Bitcoin needs to fight support on. The first one, we are very close to it right now, and if this level does not hold, the next one would be, in my opinion, right here at 105k, because we will sweep out all of this pocket of liquidity which is sitting right here. You can see on the liquidation heat map basically, and then we do have a gap, so there's not much liquidity sitting here. So it's very possible that Bitcoin will get a bounce from here if this dump to the downside continues. Also the dollar, if we look at the Dixie, you can see the dollar index is right now pushing to the upside, and this is not a good sign for Bitcoin. As you know, I have always said that we want to see the dollar in a weak downtrend in order for Bitcoin to continue rising higher. But you can see right now, potentially the dollar, after a very significant downtrend, it is time for a relief rally or basically a structure flip. What I mean by this is, as you can see right here, we've had on the dollar, basically this was during the bear market for Bitcoin from 2020 up until 2022 basically, and so then as you can see, the whole time that the dollar was pumping, Bitcoin was in a downtrend. So basically after this structure flip, basically right here, you can see right now we kind of see the same thing, like a bullish divergence, double bottom forming up right here. And so it is very possible that the dollar starts pushing hard finally, but for right now it is very possible that it will get rejected, potentially creating another lower high like here, basically the whole trend. So I am still a bit bullish on Bitcoin, but we might see some more downside until we finally flip bullish like we did right here. And if we look on the weekly time frame, the weekly is not looking the best right now after this bearish pattern that is formed right here. Basically this Dow top, the last time that this happened, this bearish top SFP pattern, we went down almost 31%, and if we go down 31% right now, we will go down all the way to 85k, which is not a bad opportunity to buy, but still we might not even get down there. We might potentially just bounce from right here if the stock market starts correcting more and then finds support right here basically and starts pushing high again. Then we might find a bottom. But right now what is interesting is Ethereum on the weekly is still holding strong, as you can see right here. Basically, we are still below the weekly pivot, but we are still right here. You can see we perfectly bounced from this high right here that I have marked out, this level. We've yet to come down to the actual 4-yearly resistance. Basically, this very key support. As long as it does not break down below this level, then as I said, I am expecting it to continue potentially ranging right here, basically something like this, and then we get a final push, because as you know, it likes to ranges for a couple of weeks before start pushing higher, basically. So this is one thing I'm looking out for. Now, something else that we need to keep an eye on is the Bitcoin ETF inflow. Right now we are having another 4 days in a row of Bitcoin ETF outflows. Basically today actually BlackRock sold, I think, for the first time in a week and a half, as you can see. They did sell the other day, I think on the 18th, basically that was Monday or Tuesday, but right now they've sold over 200 million, so this is not a small sell. But as long as we see those red numbers on the Bitcoin ETF flows, then we are potentially due for some kind of a longer correction. But this is right now only for Bitcoin and potentially some of the other altcoins, but Ethereum still has momentum. Right now, one other scenario is that Ethereum, if Bitcoin starts dumping aggressively, Ethereum will basically dump a very hard to the downside, potentially testing this low right here at 3,300 for a potential swing failure pattern correction to the upside. So basically a bullish pattern will play out if Ethereum drops down hard to right here, which would be a drop of around 20%, but Bitcoin, in my opinion, needs to drop to 10 to 15% in order for it to also drop that much. So right now things are still looking fine. Basically the fear and greed index still remaining at neutral. So if we get another move down, as I mentioned yesterday, we are going to get into that fear zone, and then Bitcoin will potentially struggle for some half of next month. Basically half of September might be bearish, and then by the end of September, once October comes, then we will potentially see that bullish reversal if it does not happen sooner. As you know, nothing is sure. This is why we are having those key levels that are near the price. Basically we are not waiting for the lower levels to come. We are trying to long that support and this one if it comes to there, but before that we are buying the one that comes to the sooner opportunity with a proper risk management, basically without risking our whole capital. We try to make those gains from those key levels. So this is not a financial advice, but this is just my outlook for the markets right now. And as you can see, as I have told you, if we come down to the fear, this is when you need to be looking for buys, not when we are in the grid zone. As you can see, once we were in the grid zone, price started selling off, which is completely normal. And this is something not everyone is paying attention to. Now the long versus shorts ratio, we still have the sellers in control of the market right now. Also tomorrow we do have some very important news. On Friday Powell is speaking, as you can see. So we will get some very strong volatility in the stock market. The dollar will be also having a volatile move. Every time Powell speaks, the dollar is having a volatile move, so we might see the dollar start pumping up again and the stock market start dumping, and Bitcoin also might just start dumping tomorrow. If it plays out like this, we might also, depends how he talks about in what state the economy is right now, since as you know inflation was way higher than expected, so we might be due for a very strong dump, which is always a good opportunity to buy more, as you know. So this is my outlook for the market as of today, guys. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for the channel and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye.